You've woken up yet again today feeling anxious and you're just not sure why. It's driving you mad. And your mind has switched straight into negative thinking. Why me? I don't get it. What have I done wrong? I can't cope. How will I get through today? And this is for you. Most people do not understand what anxiety actually is. Let me give you an example. We feel in two different ways. Physically, for example, ouch, I've just hurt my finger in the door. Instantly there is a sensation, a tingling feeling, or even a pain. Or we feel emotionally, like hurt or anger, guilt, shame, love, joy. Yet anxiety is just not an emotion. It is an emotional feeling. What anxiety actually does is it masks what's called a suppressed emotion, meaning hidden behind the sensation of anxiety is a negative emotion. And you might not even be able to decipher what that emotion actually is. But the sensation, we've now come to call that anxiety. And this is birthed from emotional distress, which are traumatic experiences that we go through where we don't complete the cycle. Without completion, there's no resolution. And this causes the distress. Let me give you an example. You're in an abusive relationship and you pluck up the courage to leave finally, but you've still got 3 small children to feed, clothe, keep warm. So as much as you're going through a traumatic experience, you're in very much survival mode and your only focus is to survive and get those children safe. Unprocessed trauma, stress, negative emotion doesn't get dealt with and you just muddle through. And how we're actually able to survive those moments is through rejection. We actually begin to reject aspects of ourselves. Example of this is you feel utter shame because of the breakup of the relationship. You feel like a failure, fear and anger, but you can't deal with it. So what do? You learn very quickly what to reject and what to keep. Aspect that you reject first is that part of you that you believe that others in your tribe, be it your family members, friends, partner, will not accept. The shame I was going through, I learned to hide. And where I naturally hid it was a place where I was not consciously aware, which is my unconscious mind, which is where it lived until I did some healing work. Ultimately, this is emotional trauma, and trauma is something that absolutely everybody experiences, and it's way more common than you can ever imagine. Why? Because it's so varied. We always think trauma means that we've been something like an abuse or a breakdown or we've had a financial crisis, but trauma really happens on a daily basis in small ways and large. Boss asks you to hit a deadline and you've only got 2 hours to get the job done and you know that you've still got something else to finish. Traumatic, right? Your friend asks you to be the speaker at their wedding. Instant trauma. Trauma is how a human being deals with experiences. But the part of ourselves that we reject is just an aspect of ourselves. We are a full ecosystem. We are multiple parts, multiple parts. The only reason you think that you are only one part is because you've been called one name your entire life. And then a trigger comes along, and the trigger triggers that feeling that you have rejected for so long. What I didn't know then that I do now is all these anxiety feelings were trying to get my attention to say, Kirsty, you need to heal. You need to heal this hidden negative emotion that is covered by this anxiety sensation. And trust me, this is totally possible. So back then my anxiety would be really bad. I'd wake up with it in the morning, I'd go to bed with it at night, and it did develop into panic attacks. But as soon as I stopped trying to fix my anxiety symptoms, stopped trying to push away the feeling of anxiety, the sensation of anxiety, and I started addressing the unconscious trauma, the negative emotions, the unconscious stress that was stuck in my unconscious mind, everything changed. And this is why I've created the Mind Freedom membership, to handhold you metaphorically through a process to be able to show you how you can also heal. The first thing I did is I shifted my relationship to what anxiety and negative emotions were starting to represent. I started to see them as my inner guidance, to reference to me where there was some healing to be done. And so instead of seeing it all as negative and bad, I started to see it as a gift, that there was something I needed to work on to be able to remove and let go so I could heal. And that's what I did. I stopped trying to fix my symptoms and I started working with the actual cause, which was the unprocessed, incomplete, negative emotions that had been stuck in my unconscious mind. As soon as I did that, guess what? The anxiety, panic attacks, they just went. And that was well over 10 years ago now. I now use this process with all my clients around the world and have phenomenal, unbelievable, life-changing results. This is why I created the Mind Freedom membership, to be able to give people a process step by step to be able to take you to the root cause of why you are consistently feeling anxiety in your life.